in every documentary, there is this kind of balance that's struck between access and objectivity. And even if the filmmaker does not know the person that they're making a film about, as they get to know them, they lose a certain objectiveness. And you obviously a person who know and work with him, and in some ways rely on him for work if you really want to take it to an extreme, because I know you have a whole life outside of him. But I mean, if he hated the movie and never wanted to work with you again, you know, but it...
Well, first of all, he allowed the movie to be made, and he had no involvement or input in it. He literally did not see it. We didn't talk to him about it and didn't show it to him till it was finished. And after that, he had literally one tiny little note.
What did he say?
It was just a little thing about West Side Story and the money thing, and he asked if we could make a little adjustment on that. And it was like this.
You must have a great deal of affection for this man to launch into that's not the question. Is it affection for the man, affection for his work? I mean, to make a movie about somebody, you have to have a strong connection to something. So what was that for you?
Well, you know, as he says, I sort of did it out of love. I mean, we're incredibly close, as well as being collaborators. We're very, very, very close friends as well. And as I said, I just wanted to share that part of him that I knew with other people.
But one thing that I feel like and maybe you were kind of putting this out there in a way that was very subtle and leaving it up for me as the viewer to figure out, is he seems like both the sweetest man in the world and an egomaniac kind of all rolled up into one. Do you think there's some truth to that?
Well, I don't think of him as an egomaniac at all, actually.
Deeply self-assured? What is it?
No. He's complicated, you know. And I think what's great is that footage that Hart Perry did when he was around, I think he was 43, where he has the greasy long hair and the chess pieces and he's drinking and is basically miserable and sour, you know. And he was he said, it was hard for him to watch that because he, in his early, even right before I met him, was a very intimidating character to most people. People in the business would say, oh, he never looks you in the eye, and he's, you know, cold, and he had that rep. But I never, you know, I didn't.
Maybe he just didn't like those people.
No, I don't think so. I think he can be maybe a little socially awkward, and I think also he was involved with a very, very personable and strong-willed man, which was Hal Prince, and I think Hal Prince did the heavy lifting, was the front guy, you know, and Steve was a bit in the background. And when I kind of came in, he became sort of the front guy, and I was 20 years younger, and nobody knew who the heck I was, you know. So it's kind of interesting when I think about it, is that he would choose me to work with because I had literally, you know, no Broadway experience. I had done one musical, I had written 2 plays, and that was it. So
I guess he had that experience, so he was, in a way, and was passing.
I think he really enjoyed meeting somebody who didn't know him or know anything about his work. You know, it was. I was really. I wasn't. You know, if I had known all that I know, seeing this, I probably would have walked in with my knees banging. But I was not that hungry, so it's interesting.